everybody, I'm Joey Paul and I'm an indie author and welcome back to my channel. I write young adult fiction across a variety of genres, and if you think that I'm interested, then think about subscribing below. I also have signed paperbacks and such at a coffee shop, which you can also find below. This year in August it will be 20 years since I was first published, and I have been indie that whole time. I thought that today I would talk about those things that are inherently linked to being indie. A disclaimer, this is by no means an exhaustive list, and while there may be some overlap with trad, I have never been traditionally published, so I have no experience from there. These are just my experiences. So number 1, finding editors aplenty. I'll preface this one by making it clear that I have been very lucky when it comes to finding editors. Either they've been people I knew from other authors, or they've been friends I have that had the skills and such. But a lot of the time, what people don't make clear is that when you're indie, you've got to find all these people yourself. I know, it's rude that they don't just approach you in the wild and know, but you do have to do the work and search for them. I would give you all the tips about where to find them, but it varies based on genre and age category and cost and budget, and I would be here all day. But finding editors is hard work, and it's something that makes up a lot of the indie world work, not just editors but other people to help with publishing. If you're publishing, you need a developmental or content editor, you need a line and or copy editor, you need a proofreader, and all of that is a lot to deal with, especially if you're going about this for the first time and don't really know about all this stuff. And even if you do, the amount of what you have to find and work out who's a good fit for your work, it's just exhausting, to be honest. But this is something that is mostly inherently indie because TradPub comes with their own editors included. So yeah, that's one big thing about indie life, is getting to find, choose and work with your own editor or editors depending on what you hire them for. Number 2, which sites? If you're not someone who's self-published before, you wouldn't know that there are choices about where to sell from. When I first started on KDP, there was also Smashwords for extended distribution and CreateSpace for paperbacks. There was also Ingram, but since you had to pay to publish there, which you don't anymore, but since you did, I stayed away from there. So part of what goes into publishing now is choosing which site. You have Draft Digital, who've merged with Smashwords, you have Ingram and KDP still, and you have others that I've never dealt with, like Barnes & Noble Press and the like. So you have a whole lot of choices, and trying to work out which one is the best one is a headache and a half. If you go exclusive with KDP and then join KU, you cannot publish with another site with your ebook. There are other rules like that, and basically a lot of us indie authors are trying to find that perfect balance and work out what works and what doesn't when it comes to which one to use. We're all trying to both get our books out there and also have them reach the readers in the best shape that can be. Number 3. Shouting somewhat into the void of social media. This one, I will freely admit, also applies to TradPub because all of us are trying to show readers on social media and beyond that they really do want to read our books and such. The difference here is that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes TradPub will have a lot of help behind the scenes. Where indies can hire PR companies and such, some make enough to do so, others, like me, just can't. Which makes life harder and increases the shouting into the void because we have nothing much else we can do to get the word out there. Think about it, if you don't tell people that you have a book or books out, then how will they know? If you tell them too much, it annoys them, so it's just about finding that perfect balance and keep it going. Number 4. Why don't you become a real author? This one. The one I really hate being asked. It's usually older people, usually thinking that because I self-pubbed and am indie, I am therefore not really an author, when literally the definition is just being published, which I am, so there we go. But we indies get these comments a lot, though I know TradPub get the whole just self-pub comments too, and those aren't helpful either. Each path is valid, and whichever one you go down, you are a real author, I promise you that. It's one of those questions people ask and think they're being helpful, sometimes at least, and it's not. It's actually kind of rude and snobbish, but there we go. I would go on, but again, I would be here for a while. And number 5, wearing all the hats. One thing I learned early on in the indie life was about having to wear all the hats. Most writers have to motivate themselves. That's not unique to indie life. But we also have to work out publishing schedules and be an expert in marketing. We have to both be the author online and also be the assistant, ready to answer questions and send out emails and such. So it's a lot to take on, and I don't regret my choices for a second. Despite how it may sound, I enjoy being indie. It's something that's worked for me for nearly 20 years, and I wouldn't change my choices. But it does sometimes get a little overwhelming, and that's normal. So yeah, those are 5 things I've thought about the indie life. Like I said, they're not completely exclusive to being indie. The shouting into the void is definitely not exclusive to being indie. But they're things that I found that are very inherent about being an indie author, and the things that go with it. So which questions do you ask that you really wish you didn't? Because I'm really sick of the, when are you going to be a real author? That one just grinds my gears. Let me know in the comments down below. So that's what I got time for today. If you want to support my channel, you can comment, like, or subscribe. I post new videos on Thursdays. You can find me all over social media, and my books are available everywhere. And you can also buy things at my Ko-fi shop. And you can also sign up for my newsletter. And don't forget to pick up Cramming Chronicles The Third Ache, which is the 3rd in a young adult urban fantasy series. And also don't forget to grab a ticket for Wonderland in Nottingham in July, where I'll be signing books. All the links for which are listed below. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep writing. Bye.